Hello there, I hope you're all doing well. I'm just going to do a tutorial video on one of my songs that I did a couple of years ago. Well, not my song, it's Paul Weller's song. It's Broken Stones. Beautiful song from his album in '95 called Stanley Road, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware. The original record, Weller played that basically on electric piano, Mellotron. There's Hammond organ in there. There was some guitar parts in there very subtly. It's a lovely record, as you're probably aware. This is not the version of that, obviously, because I'm just going to do an acoustic tutorial. I did a video a couple of years ago. It was actually on Weller's 65th birthday. I was outside in the garden. It was a really nice day, and my daughter just filmed me. It was an impromptu version, so it wasn't even the version that I would normally play live, but it was a lovely version, and someone asked me to show them that recently, and I've had a few requests for it. So I'll just get into it. As I said, this video is probably not for beginners, but by all means, anyone who watches my channel is welcome to try anything you want and ask me any advice, and I'll give you whatever knowledge I can. But as I say, it's probably not for beginners, so I'm not going to explain everything about the chords. I haven't got time on the video. It is aimed more for more advanced players, really, but if I just tell you the chords, I'm not going to explain how you make the shapes on them. I'll just tell you the chords, assuming that you'd know them. So I'll go through the chords, and then towards the end, I'll just show you, there's a few little licks that I do in the hammer-ons and pull-offs and stuff, and I'll just explain them briefly as well. So I'll just run through the chords first of all. So it's in the key of B flat, root 6 position, but I don't use the full bar. I just kind of use this F shape. And the pattern I'm using a lot of palm muting on it just to give it that bit of a feel. So they're just little stabs, really. The chord that's underneath that would be like an E flat, really, but it's more like just a suspended version of it, just sort of like suspending your little finger across the 3 strings below your position. So those 3 chords, B flat, your sort of suspension of your E flat, F, your suspension of your B flat, and then the 3rd chord is playing. It's just an inversion of an E flat major 7, which you'd play that up here on your 6th fret on a root 5. But Weller does this inversion. He does it in quite a few songs in different keys, and it's a really lovely chord, really effective. So if you just bar the first 3 strings on the 3rd fret, and then what I do is I use my 2nd finger to bridge over. It might be a bit much for some people if I've got quite big hands, but you could use your 3rd finger, but I use my 2nd, and what I'm doing is I'm putting my 2nd finger on the D string on the 5th fret, and then I'm putting my 3rd finger, it's a bit of a stretch, but that's on the 6th string, the 6th fret on the 5th string, and then when you play it all together, you get that sound. You do put a bit of pressure on it, because otherwise you get a bit of that ringing out. It's a lovely voicing of the chord, a lovely inversion. So again, just to recap. So that is on the opening part of the song, on the 1st verse. There's some chords, another chord that I used on that video. I don't know if, yeah, well, I does use it live and it's done as acoustic version. It's basically like a C7. You could use a C7 actually on an open position, just as effective. And it goes to an F and then an F7. But I use this. It's kind of like a jazzy chord, Hendrix kind of chord, if you like. Hendrix would be like, well, this is just a, so imagine if you was using an open position B7, if you move that up a fret, but obviously don't use that, let that ring out. What I do then is I just sort of bar the rest of those strings underneath on that 3rd fret, and you get that chord. It's a bit fuller than an ordinary C7. So and then go to an F, and then an F7, the bar. So I'll run through that bit. So that's the first section. The next bit that he does, he then goes down to, on the lyric where it says, another bit shadows, he moves down, again using that inversion of that E flat major 7. Another bit shadows, another little bit gets lost. So you just back up to that B flat using that suspension for those 2 chords. The next bit where he says, what else really matters? That's on a G minor. Obviously using your root 6 position again on your 3rd fret. But underneath that, he's got this like suspension again, and like the C chord underneath, so quite effective. You can see that there. I'm just flattening my little finger. Again, you might struggle to do that. You might not need to do it with that finger. It's just techniques again over time. Works just as well with that finger. And then the chord after that I used on the video when I recorded it, it was another inversion of a G sharp major 7. So if you imagine using an A minor in open position, if you slide that up to like the C minor position, and he was using a root 5. If you take your first finger off the C note and you bridge it over to the G sharp, which is the 4th fret on the 6th string, and if you just mute the A string underneath it and then just play that, gives you that lovely chord there. You've got that major 7th with that added bass note on, it just gives it that lovely sound. Obviously if you played it down here it would sound quite high end, but here, and then I'll just do the F again, and then the F7. So I'll just run through that bit. So just to recap, that inversion of a G sharp major 7, F, F7, and then back to the B flat. I think that's pretty much all the chords you need in the song. If you listen to the video that I put up there, you'll get the length of the song and all the parts in position. I'll not go through all of it now. It's just going to be too long, the video, but those are the chords that I use for the entire song. Like I said, it's a lovely, nice version, nice way of playing it. I've seen Weller do it with the bar chords in that. It's a bit heavier, but this is just a bit more mellow. Yeah, so I'll just go over now. There's a couple of little licks that I do, and then a couple of pull-offs and hammer-ons, so I'll just quickly go over those for you. So on the B flat chord, when we're using that, as I've showed you before, I'm using that bit of a suspended thing. On the back of that, if you, what I did on the lick with it, I just sort of made it a bit of a, very quickly into a minor and then back to a major. It's really effective, quite a bluesy really. So it's just a hammer on. It's just you come off and hammer on. So if you're in that position there on your B flat, my second finger is on the G string and it's on the 7th fret. But what I do with the first finger then, I'm just sort of bridging that up so that the finger is on that string as well, so that I can just pull off that and make it a minor for a split second. takes quite a bit of getting used to, and again, it comes down to technique, and that only comes down to practice. No matter, there's no quick way around it. You've got to practice, and you've got to, you know, get used to the feel of it. So that's that. And then there's a little run I do on the back of that, and it's just, again, I'm not moving my fingers to start the position. It's just this little box here, just like a pentatonic, I'd imagine. It's nothing hard and fast, but if you just slide up your third finger from the we're on the 8th fret and go to the 10th, and then your first finger is on the 8th fret on the D string, and then you hammer on that same string on the 10th fret and pull off, and then you put your third finger back on to that 10th fret on the A string. So I'll do it slowly, but it's the vibrato in if you want, you don't have to. So and then we're down to the F. Again, you could do that with the F if you like as well, do the minor thing. Then you could use that riff again if you wanted. Before you go back up to that E flat, you know, from the inversion of the E flat major 7. All sounds quite good, quite effective. And that's basically it. And I said basically, I know there's a lot to take in there, but when you try these things and you run through them, you do end up getting like a feel for it better when you just keep trying it. And it just comes with technique, because you know exactly how much pressure to put on your left hand, exactly how much pressure to put on your right hand. These things come natural. I've seen millions of videos where people are telling you about strumming patterns, and that's great, don't get me wrong, and it's good for beginners, but as any advanced guitar player will tell you, it's more about feel, and you only get that feel by practice, and just feeling that and just getting into the groove. Listen to the song, listen to different versions of different songs, and you'll get more of an idea in your head as you're playing along with them. And then you come up with your own ideas and you end up doing your own things. It's quite useful, especially for songwriting, because I do write a lot of my own songs as well. But yeah, it's a great song. It's a lovely version that I played of it, and I hope you enjoy it. If there's anything you're not clear on, please just let me know in the comments and I will try and recap. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's been a while since I've done a tutorial. I do want to do more of them. I want to get a better setup, better cameras and stuff, and I do plan on doing a lot more. But as I say, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're not already a subscriber to my channel, I would appreciate if you would like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe, and tell your friends about it as well. You know, I've got quite a few followers, but I'd love more. Trying to get through that algorithm, as we all are. But if you do like my content and what I'm putting out there, please do give us a follow, and I'll see you again soon. So enjoy and take care. Thank you.